we need to have a different biblical approach to short-term missions that we see in much of the short-term missionary movement in the United States. And we can do that by following some very simple biblical guidelines. I've given 4 here. Sending people who are already faithful followers of Jesus. Didn't Jesus say, you'll be my witness in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and the uttermost parts of the world? There is a divine order to that. When I started in ministry, I started in nursing homes, local parks, juvenile detention centers, prisons in Florida. Then I sold my business and went out. Not everybody's order of things is going to be the same. Obviously, if it's a younger person, it's their home, it's their neighborhood, it's their local church, it's local outreaches, and then they can go. But see, there's a biblical order to all this. Another way is by sending people who are faithfully serving God at home, people who are faithfully serving God in their churches, people who are faithfully serving God and doing outreaches in their neighborhoods, in their city. Don't take people that aren't involved in those outreaches or won't serve or won't take the trash out or anything like that. And if they're not at that place, train them. Train them in their home country before you take them to another country. There'll be no instant change just because they're on a plane and they land in a foreign nation. I could tell you, I learned that the hard way. Jesus always sent people who were ready to go. He knew too much was at stake to send lukewarm, half-hearted, half-committed, double-minded followers. That's why Jesus said in Matthew 16:24, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever wants to lose their life for me will find it. And it's very short-sighted. And I speak to you as leaders that are going to put together teams. It's very short-sighted and lacking in wisdom to think we can faithfully train a 1 or 2 week short-term missionary in the basics of discipleship and evangelism while on that 2-week mission trip. Once we get to the mission field, indigenous pastors and leaders, they're expecting the mission team to arrive as missionary messengers of the gospel who have come ready to serve and are prepared to work and, yes, preach the gospel. Because remember, that's the number one thing. People need to be able to speak the gospel. And if they're fearful, let them start with a 2-minute, 1 verse. But they need to be willing to share the gospel. And this happened to me after one of our short-term missionary teams. I had an indigenous pastor say to me, he said, you need to bring teams that are ready to minister. Otherwise, our people, including the youth, are getting the wrong idea of what it means to be a Christian missionary. And I needed that criticism. I'd gotten too easy as far as who I'd accept on the team. Let me clarify and say this. So if someone isn't in the right spiritual place, offer them the opportunity to get there. You see, that's the beauty of it. If somebody wants to do it, if somebody wants to be on a football team, all they have to do is show up for the practice. The coach will teach them if they show up for the practice. The coach would rather have somebody that shows up that he can train than somebody that thinks they're so great and they never want to practice, right? One of the biggest mistakes I made, one of the earlier mission trips that I led, and I put out a sign-up sheet. After the meeting, I got the sign-up sheet, and I looked at the names. I'm like, whoa, I can't take this person and this person in their present state, but I'm going to help them. I'm going to go to them and give them the opportunity to get to where I can take them. So I remember one kid, we had a meeting. I said, hey, man, I saw you wanted to go on a mission trip. He's like, yeah, I really want to go. I said, hey, would you do me a favor? He's like, yeah, what do you need? I said, I need you to go clean that bathroom back there. Well, we're playing basketball right now. I said, you don't want to do it? No, we're playing basketball. I said, okay, no problem. I gave him a couple other opportunities, but see, if people aren't willing to serve here, what makes us think they're going to serve on the mission field?